the only thing that I've been consistent with from day one of starting this is that I've been honest that that's where I'm at and that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all I have. I always tell people when they storm onto the page and say, well, I'm leaving. I don't like the way you are anymore. And it's like, well, this is what I have to offer. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't like it, you don't have to stay here. Yourself like so I'm guilty of doing a lot of those things that cause burnout and angst. But I feel like through this journey of, we are going into the 9th year of doing this. I have learned a lot. I've changed a lot. I've grown as a person. I've realized what battles I do, what battles I want to pick, what battles I don't want to pick with people. The fact that, you know, people have watched my family grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that to me is probably the weirdest part of this whole thing is they're watching my family grow, my family change, my family evolve, my family have struggles. And I think that's important to show people, because the stuff that we see on TV, the scripted crap that we see that they say is unscripted, which is BS, that's not what a normal family looks like. A normal family fights. A normal family has problems. A normal family goes, if you ask me, goes to therapy. A normal family does all of these things. And I kind of, for whatever reason, felt like it was somewhat my duty to be like, hey, this is some, my husband and I fight. My kids can be ungrateful a-holes. This is real life.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever put somebody on blast. Maybe my husband.
Yeah.
But he knows.
Right.
He knows exactly that the second we have a conversation or a fight about something, he knows exactly where I'm going. I'm gonna go tell everybody what you just said. You said something real stupid. I'm gonna go tell everyone. And I do the same thing about me. I'm like, I cannot believe I just said this or I just did this, because I can be a real moron at times. So we have to be, I feel like we have, as women, have to be so diligent about the words we choose, the actions we choose, the time we decide to share them. And that can be exhausting in of itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's ridiculous, but it's a double standard. And so I guess there are these women now who want to be like, no, I just love every second of spending time with my husband and every second of being with my kids. And it's like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. And I don't know why it's wrong to say that. You
Yeah.
don't want me to come at you for saying you love every minute of it. Go love every minute. I don't care. I don't believe you.
Right.
But I'm not going to post on your thing, I don't believe you.
Right.
Because
Right.
I don't care enough to post
Yeah.
about that. It's almost indescribable to feel that wave of laughter and applause come back at you. It's like almost like earthquake stuff, like coming at you, and it's crazy. And it's a rush. So I love that. I love meeting the people at the meet and greets. I love connecting and seeing, because you guys see me, but I don't see you. I see your comments. I see your profile pictures. But to have somebody standing in front of you and then it click and be like, oh my God, you're nurse so-and-so from blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yes, I always see your stuff in the feed. That is a big part of the joy that I found on tour. So like when I get swirly, my go-to is to clean something, organize something. Like right before the trip, I went through and organized our entire closet by color. Which made no sense because it didn't benefit anybody and it didn't get anything done. Right. But I color coded every article of clothing in the closet.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I haven't worn that in 3 years. I haven't did it. And I'm just, and my husband comes in, he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I was a little anxious. So I've organized everything by color and I redid the shoe racks. And he's like, you've lost your mind. But if I can control something, I can talk myself down from the swirly.
Have you thought about ways or have you done things now to change your life or to implement certain routines or habits, or like self-care is basically like what I'm getting at,
Therapy. I started going to therapy after that. I think one of the questions that I got asked a bunch that I thought was super ridiculous and it bothered me was, while you're on the road, who's watching your kids? Mm-hmm. Because that to me was just the dumbest thing. Because it's like, what do you mean who's watching the kids? Like, my husband's they're his kids. Yeah. They're my kids, they're his kids. I'm working. Yeah. He's home taking care of them. It's not easy to do this as a mom and a wife and all of those things. But if you have something to say, you should say it. You should pursue it. If it's a passion, you should, cultivate it.
Yeah.
Because being a mom is one part of what you do. Being a wife is one part of what you do. What does Christy want to do? What does Meredith want to do? You're allowed to be you because you have a name and your name is not mom.